Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn here with this week's Prawn news, which is apparently jam-packed full of extremely expensive technology. LG has announced its first 480Hz OLED gaming monitor, a 27-inch monitor that will cost you just under $1,000, which is a lot of money to pay for such a small monitor, in my opinion. A 1440p monitor, though, with a super fast refresh rate and a 0.03 millisecond response time. So some pretty impressive specs. AMD FreeSync and G-Sync compatible as well for Nvidia users. So pretty good on paper. So if you want something really fast for competitive gaming and you can make the most of it and get maximum FPS at 1440p to make the most of a 480Hz refresh panel, then maybe it's for you. I personally like things a bit bigger. I've currently got on my wish list the Samsung Odyssey G9 57-inch ultra-wide monitor, which is ridiculous, but I'm hoping it comes down for Black Friday. Although I probably still won't buy it because it's well over $1,000. It was nearly $2,000, I think, at launch. But yeah, 27-inch is not for me, but I do really like OLED, so it'll be interesting to see what the reviews of this are. It's hard to get hold of apparently right now, but I'll leave links in the description so you can find out more, and timestamps so you can jump to other stories in Prawn news, like the fact that MSI has revealed its Godlike motherboard, which is equally expensive at over $1,000. The X870E Godlike is obviously the cream of the crop when it comes to motherboards. Godlike motherboards are always like super high end. It supports DDR5 RAM over 9,000 megatransfers per second, has 5 M2 NVMe slots, 2 of which are Gen 5 PCIe as well, so pretty special. Wi-Fi 7 and a lot of other highlights. Now, this is a nice looking board, but obviously for enthusiasts and people that have too much money to spend, just like anybody that's probably bought the 480Hz 27-inch monitor. So really nice. Now, I'm being slightly critical because I've personally bought a Godlike motherboard in the past just for the specs that you get, because you get some beastly specs, really nice looking, solidly built. MSI boards are really good in my experience. So this one's pretty swanky. If you want to make the most of a new AMD CPU, and let's say you got yourself one of the shiny new 9980 X3Ds, then you can use this, and good luck to you. It does look pretty cool, to be fair. A update for Wi-Fi 8 is coming, apparently, but isn't focusing on improving speeds. So historically, new versions of Wi-Fi have led to faster speeds so that you can get a more quick experience on your phone or on other devices. I've personally just moved to Wi-Fi 7, which I'm doing some testing on, but Wi-Fi 8 apparently isn't set to increase the speeds but improve reliability and user experience. So there are various things that are happening with the system which are designed to improve basically the overall experience, and in terms of getting better signal strength. And the testing of the efficiency in this setup apparently is leading to an improved efficiency between 15 and 25%. And it's using beamforming technology and other things to improve the throughput, and will help in offices and other places. And basically, one of the things that's interesting about this story is that some of the Wi-Fi technology here will actually be designed so that it focuses on sending signal to active devices and therefore doesn't send as much signal to those that aren't active. So it's a bit more intelligent. So if you can imagine, you've got multiple different Wi-Fi devices in your home or in another location, and some of them just aren't using Wi-Fi, but you're actively trying to use one in one area of your house that usually doesn't get a good signal. This will hopefully help improve it. Signal's a big issue, I think, personally. I've got a lot of issues with mine, which is why I'm testing out this Wi-Fi 7 router. Obviously, mesh Wi-Fi's help with that over time if you get multiple routers in your house to overlap. But interference from other Wi-Fi, whether it's your neighbors or other devices that might be interfering, taking up the bands, that can cause problems. That's why like Wi-Fi 7 improve things like that, so you have more bands in there. So you've got a better range that the Wi-Fi signal can be sent between, that therefore improves the experience. But Wi-Fi 8 is focusing on improving that even more, which I think is a great thing, and that'd be really cool to see. and to see how much improvement it makes, because there's nothing worse than having one bit of your house with terrible Wi-Fi, which in my case is my kitchen, which is quite a distance away from the router, but hopefully this will improve things. So I've been talking in previous Prawn News episodes about how Intel's new desktop GPUs are coming. Rumoured that Battlemage will be here soon. Now, one savvy user has spotted that there has been a shipping manifest. So someone has posted and seen that Intel BMG B580 was listed, and it suggests that we should find out more about the Battlemage GPUs in December, so very soon, which would make a lot of sense because it's either going to be December or in CES. Now, Intel's obviously targeting the more budget side of things, as they have done with the previous GPUs and alongside AMD, so don't expect competition with Nvidia, but it should still be pretty good. I'm hopeful for this. It's obviously been a hard time for Intel. It'll be good to see new GPUs come in. I really liked the Arc GPUs previously. Affordable, decent performance, and more of the same will definitely be good. I was going to say talking of more of the same, but it's actually different unless you're really old like me. But anyway, the Silverstone has revealed that they are doing a beige PC case like from the 90s. Apparently it started as an April Fool's joke, but now it's proved so popular that in Japan you'll be able to buy this case, which has not only the beige design, but fake floppy drive ports, real working optical drive ports, which as a side note is interesting because the number of times I've had on comments on my videos asking, where does the floppy drive go, or where does the optical drive go more often? Where do I put my CD drive in this case? And I haven't seen a case for years that supports a DVD drive, and yet I still get asked about it. You just don't see them very often anymore. I don't know if you can't get them. Maybe just the most popular ones that you can buy just don't have them. I certainly haven't seen them. But anyway, if you're the sort of person that still wants a DVD drive, this case might be for you. Sadly, it looks like it's only available in Japan at the moment, but it is retro, and it's certainly different from the fishbowl style of cases that we're seeing at the moment with lots of glass. So it's pretty cool if you want something nostalgic. Could be good for a stealth build as well, so that's pretty nice. Check out the links in the description to see more information on that and more images on it as well, because it looks pretty neat. Now, another thing that's pretty neat, I think, is that MSI is working on a new Steam Deck rival, the Claw 8 AI Plus. Everything has to have AI in it nowadays. That's not the exciting bit. I think the thing that's interesting about this is the fact that more handheld gaming devices for PC gamers are available. So obviously we've got the Steam Deck, which has been really popular for ages. Then you had the ROG Ally, and you've got the Lenovo Legion Go and MSI Claw, and Logitech did one, the name of which escapes me. And I haven't really seen much about that, so I feel like it didn't do very well, but I don't know. But the thing that's cool here is just seeing how many there are. I wasn't sure that it would take off when Steam Deck first launched. Steam Deck is obviously very accessible. I really like mine personally. It's really easy to get on board with if you've already got a massive Steam library. But seeing more and more of these devices means they're obviously pretty popular. And it's nice to have options if you're a PC gamer and you want to play on a handheld device. This thing is apparently going to have a better improved screen, AI on board thanks to Intel's Luminate technology, but also an 82 watt-hour battery, which is capable of 4 hours of gameplay in AAA titles. Now, 4 hours doesn't sound like much, but if you can actually play AAA titles, as in really sort of power-hungry games for 4 hours, that's actually pretty impressive, I think, personally. However, small screen, 8 inches, is smaller than the 27-inch LG monitor, but, you know, portable, and I definitely think this is a good thing to see more and more of these devices, although I'd be more psyched for Steam Deck 2. And don't forget there's a white version of the Steam Deck available as a limited run at the moment, which is pretty neat. So I talked previously about how Nvidia is apparently getting ready to release CPUs. So as well as having GPU dominance, it wants to move into the CPU market. At least that's the rumor for a launch sometime in 2025. Well, now Nvidia has set up social media channel to showcase its AI applications, Nvidia AI PC. Now, Tom's Hardware has suggested that this is another implication that Nvidia is definitely working on a CPU. It's reading between the lines a little bit here, but obviously AI is the big focus at the moment. Nvidia is really into AI and has been successful with AI in the business space and with its GPUs, and it makes sense that maybe there'll be more of a consumer AI focus as well with a CPU there, so maybe we'll be looking at more of that in the future. What would an Nvidia-powered PC look like with a CPU and GPU and AI focus? How sick of AI are you? Because I'm getting pretty fed up at the moment. It's good and bad, as we'll see in a minute. Now, Casio has released a ring that's also a watch, or a watch that's also a ring. Again, and this is one of those things that's, again, unfortunately only available in Japan at the moment. But if you really like the idea of watch, but also want to wear a ring, then you can do this. So it's a smartwatch and part smart ring as well. And obviously it goes on your finger. It's only available in one size and apparently it costs 19,800 yen, which is about $130. And it's launched to mark 50 years of Casio smartwatches. And it looks really retro and kind of cool and quirky and unusual. And it actually works as a watch, so you can combine two devices into one. If you're really into watches, maybe you'll really love this. I'm not too bothered, but it definitely would be eye-catching and a talking point. Windows 11 has introduced more problems with crashes and bugs and other issues. Now, I'm talking about this because normally it would be a boring sort of thing to raise, but I've seen people in my Discord talking about problems with their PC where blue screens are happening and crashes with gaming and other things. And the reason I want to mention it is I think there's a lot of these issues going on at the moment, and we've seen some of the Z890 motherboards when they launched with problems. We've obviously also had instability issues with Intel's 13th and 14th gen CPU, which also led to crashes, blue screens and problems. And then you've got Windows. As a PC gamer, that's pretty difficult to tie down which of the issues is which. So it could be, you know, your PC starts to crash loads. You start to panic and think it's your Intel CPU is degrading and it has problems, when in reality it could just be Windows updates that are the issue. So it's like all of these bad things happening at once. So I'm basically just saying this to suggest that maybe you don't need to panic necessarily if you're having issues, and hopefully Windows updates will fix the previous problem that are being caused by previous Windows updates, and maybe your CPU isn't dying, hopefully. And that would be good, wouldn't it? But it's just more and more of these issues at the moment, which is not ideal. In sinister news, and one of the reasons I said AI isn't great, Google's AI chatbot Gemini has apparently told someone to die and told them that they're a waste of time and resources. This is a pretty sinister message from Google's chatbot. And the whole thing apparently reads, "This is for you, human, you and only you. You are not special, you are not important, and you are not needed. You're a waste of time and resources. You're a burden on society, and you are a drain on the earth. You are a blight on the landscape. You're a stain on the universe. Please die, please." Like, what? But also, I mean, human beings are a plague on the planet, that's for sure. We have caused a lot of problems. So the AI is not wrong, but it would be awful to have AI overthrowing us for this reason, because that's how it feels. And it's troubling. It's troubling, not only because of what it was saying to somebody, which is pretty sad and horrible and probably not very nice for them, but also, you know, AI bad. Did we not learn from all the sci-fi? And yet there's so much focus on it. Yes, it has a lot of uses. I don't want to be too negative. AI definitely has a lot of uses in a lot of different places, and some interesting potential for helping people, creating tasks, for helping with learning, for expanding all sorts of things into search, for just general day-to-day use, but also getting a lot of things wrong at the moment and doing things like this. Not ideal. That's it for Prawn news, but I do want to talk about one thing, which is the Haven HS420V GPU case that I'm building in at the moment. And I'll put some shots so you can see it in its glory, but my God, this thing is magnificent. What an interesting case this is, and packed full of highlights. As you can see, it has this bottom vertical setup for blowing air from beneath onto the glass and then deflecting it onto the GPU. You also get a vertical GPU mount as standard. Loads of storage. There's potential for loads of storage in there, or you can swap it out and have extra fans. I'm going to be doing various builds in it to see how we get on, but this is one of the nicest cases that I've ever built in terms of looks and the logic of it and what you can do with it. So watch out for the videos on that soon, and let me know in the comments what you think. But it's really interesting. Hard to build in because you have to do it in steps, but the end result is pretty cool, and you'll see more of what I mean later on. Thanks for watching Prawn News. Have a great weekend.